Hello, everybody. This is Jeff Rains with Foundation of Civilization again. I wanted to go over something today. I want to question your priorities. What are your priorities? What drives your priorities? Do you even consider how minor choices impact our lives, the way we live our lives? How many times have you seen videos sensationalizing something absurd or disgusting on TV or now on YouTube or some similar service? Like videos of very large people? People playing jokes on others to get a reaction, or maybe somebody threatening violence, or even acts of violence. There are a lot of people making videos calling out others, watching them as they do a workout. Sometimes the subjects of their videos are doing something incorrectly. But how does the creator of the video know that they're doing something incorrectly? I mean, sometimes I see the workout and, well, I kind of question what exactly is going on, but I'm not the one doing the workout. The subject is. Hilariously, many times they call into question the attention of others in the gym for the wrong reasons. They think some guy, a lot of women, think some guy's creeping on her when he's waiting on her to finish her workout on a machine so that they can get their turn. There's actually somebody who has ma- now made a living off of calling people out that are posting some of these stupid videos. I've seen dozens of people getting mad about their service at a fast food restaurant. Uh, if there's any place you don't need to get angry about service, it's at a fast food chain. The workers don't get paid enough to put up with some self-centered idiot's poor attitudes, and the food is not that impressive to get into a fight over. We must be careful of the entertainment that we consume and encourage. The purpose of these videos is to draw attention to the creator or to the subjects that the creator points out and to get advertising revenue for the host companies. It often isn't to better the communities or the society. It points out the absurd. Uh, for purposes of this video, I want to call into question the priority we place on the entertainment and what it teaches us about other priorities in our lives. That's the challenge of a priority. When we put something like service at a fast food restaurant, or the way somebody else works out, or the way somebody treats us or doesn't treat us, we place those things ahead of more important things, we're losing focus. Unfortunately, as human beings, we are drawn to the sensational because of our survival instinct. Well, we see something and we go, "Oh my gosh!" We get a quick reaction, and something triggers with this instinct in these videos. The creators of the videos want the advertising, so they produce the scandalous. The advertisers are happy for the viewers, for the views to advertise their product. Nobody in this chain understands the implication of each piece of the puzzle. Kind of similar to the way we look at our production systems, our our uh, our manufacturing processes. I'll get to it in a minute. They only understand their piece of the puzzle. The base principles of these videos is selfishness, not charity. This gets to the heart of the matter. Everyone is trying to grab as much money as they can, and they don't contemplate the overall results, especially the problem they may be creating. For years, we've seen the lives of the rich and famous. Everyone wants to be pampered and catered to just like just like the rich and famous are. We get a sense of entitlement that we too need to have things handed to us. But can everyone be rich and famous and be catered to? Of course not. Someone has to do the basic hard work of growing food, building houses, producing materials that we need, building the roads and uh, building the roads and the buildings and transporting the goods to our communities. This is where the divide occurs. People want to have the wealthy and powerful lifestyles, but very few want to do the work to become wealthy and powerful. We want quick results, instant if possible. If we want to better our country and our communities, we have to divest ourselves of the get rich quick schemes. We have to be willing to participate in things that have the biggest benefits, the the most profound benefits. I haven't found a name for this yet, but I've noticed in myself when I was growing up and children as they grow up now that we expect things that we've had and needed to always be there or a suitable substitute. Oh, now, what do I mean? Well, let's take, for instance, food. When I was young, I was able to go into a grocery store and pick up a gallon of milk for low cost. That grocery store in particular is no longer there, but there's another grocery store that took its place. And I expect if I go around the world, I can go to most countries and find a gallon of milk somehow, some way. And I can find a store to sell it to me. But think back 100 years. How did people get most of their milk? It was locally made, locally produced. They had to find somebody who had a cow and they were that was milking it. What if we enter a situation where the milk disappears or nearly disappears? What if there's a massive shortage and even if I could find it, I could not afford it? And not that I drink a lot of milk these days. Uh, don't need it. Someone has to do the basic dirty work of milking cows to get milk to the market. Most of us don't even consider a moment when this would not happen. It's never been part of our life experience. What about electricity? When we reach over to the light switch and flip it on, we expect to get light. What if there's a time when we didn't have sufficient electricity to charge the grid? I've also seen a time recently when there's a lot of damage to the power lines due to storms and the power was cut off. So I reached for the switch and nothing happened. It was disappointing. Fortunately, though, the power companies within a few days got the power back on. But I lived in Florida also. We had times when it took them a week to get the power back on. But I knew that they were going to get the power back on. I just had to struggle through those few days. Currently, Cuba and Puerto Rico are beginning to experience some severe limitations in their electric systems. In years past, people were worried about their entertainment and they weren't worried about making sure that their electrical systems were being maintained. Those YouTubers don't even take into consideration any of this. They just jump into some ridiculous situation, film themselves so they can get their money. They don't consider their videos will inspire others to do something uh, even more stupid or dangerous, further eroding our community or society. We need to consider the results of our actions and those that we inspire, not just for today, but for months, years, and decades to come. I'm going to take this another step. What about dating? Dedicated, devoted people want similarly dedicated, devoted individuals. I keep seeing, especially a lot of videos, women complaining that there's no good men out there. Well, yeah, you stomped them out of existence through through generations now. We've had women who decided, well, we had men who didn't take care of women, and we've had women who have decided to abuse men, and we've created a huge divide between us. There's a severe lack of trust. I keep I keep seeing some people to solve the problem suggesting that we'll just not judge others. We'll just not judge each other on their history, their background, and their past romances, which it's entirely untrue. You're that's never going to happen. You can claim you're not going to judge each other, but you're going to. It is it isn't the lack of judgment that creates good relationships. It is the devotion to a relationship that creates a good relationship, even before we find the right person. If we are jumping in and out of relationships, or even worse, if we're jumping in and out of romantic encounters, i.e., one night stands or very short term relationships, we're creating a community of temporary relationships that have no depth. That lack of devotion and commitment to each other that we're complaining about now. When significant portions of our community are day in and day out just looking for a thrill, they will not find the fulfillment in a committed relationship. They don't realize that each time they jump into these temporary romances, they are killing the devotion in a community. Our actions will impact others. We need to be cognizant of the impact our videos and our entertainment are having on ourselves and each other. We also need to be cognizant of entertainment that we consume. How is it inspiring us, or how is it enraging us? I love the quote attributed to Bruce Lee that if we are easily angered, we are easily controlled. While we are busy arguing left versus right, straight versus gay, white versus black, business, financial, and political leaders are making changes to the way our communities work, the way our important infrastructure is being run, and our basic production systems. Oftentimes, they are limiting our freedoms one step at a time, and we don't even see it. We are taking things for granted that we should not be. Those videos are causing us to focus and priorities absolutely useless details. We are concerned about how someone can entertain us or enrage us, not if our agricultural or manufacturing systems are working efficiently or if our judicial system is working for the average individual and not big business and government. We're also not considering how our actions or the videos that we see are impacting our community, our relationships, the relationships that we try to create or the relationships that we allow to be created in our community. One day, we're going to end up like Cuba, Puerto Rico, or the U.S. Northeast in 2003, when a poorly maintained electric grid came down for a couple of days due to an act of nature. About 45 million people lost power for several hours. Some of them lost it for a few days, several days. Right now, we're not seeing the high prices on eggs and milk yet. Although there are a few states who they enacted laws a few years ago that now are coming into effect, and they are driving up egg prices, double, triple in some places. Our agriculture and manufacturing systems are under threat. We are seeing conflicts erupt around the world that will further threaten most countries' economies. The the sources and the contributing factors are many and often obscured. It requires us to keep focused on our priorities. All too often, shameful people want to gain political advantage and offer politically charged answers. Never trust political pundits, ever. Do your homework before subscribing to their answers. And that requires everyone to do a lot more homework than we are doing. And I place myself in that category also. Just part of the reason why I'm doing this, so that I can find the answers and I can show you where they are. We must widen our view and see the implications of our actions on our neighbors and our country. We must stop taking the easy paths and letting people spark outrage in us. Keep the important things as a priority. Don't let our attention get distracted. This concludes what I wanted to present tonight. Much love to everybody. This is Jeff Rains with Foundation of Civilization. I'm signing off for now. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to be able to do this permanently, full time, but unfortunately, I have to get back to work tomorrow. Um, this is well, it's a brand new year, and January 1st of a new year, and we're already seeing some excitement unfolding as it is. Like I said, much love, and I hope that everybody is prepared for the changes that are coming, and you are preparing yourself and your families so that you can address the problems that are arising. Thanks again, and we will see you next time.